Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Now on Friday last week I showcased Morro Bay by Cities, as you can see down below. I knew there would be a reaction for the seemingly petty reason I didn't give the 5th star for aesthetics. But the reaction isn't why I did it. I really wanted to go all-star on this map, not least because of all of the creators out there, Cities really deserves one. Now, while little things like this can go unnoticed in some areas of the map, a feature area draws your eye to it, and this was certainly a feature area. Now, I am always prepared to hold my hands up and say I was wrong when you guys show me I am wrong, and a very strong point, no pun intended, was made showing me this peak is indeed very pointy. I did try finding this kind of image myself during the review process, but unable to find the name of the hill, which I now know to be Hollister Peak, I had to rely on user images dotted around on Google Earth, but none showed me what I hoped to find. But even had I seen this image, I'm not convinced the spike in Cities' terrain mesh would have convinced me. I mean, after all, there are limitations to what the terrain mesh can do. It certainly was a mistake on my part to show the moving screen capture from Google Earth, as this didn't do anything other than to give the impression that I relied on this model for the review. In truth, I didn't have the time to screenshot a whole bunch of images which all basically showed me nothing, and it was just a quick and easy, so I recorded this instead. Given the profile of the peak, the images here I think are taken from approximately the same angle. Cities' map was never intended to be a one-to-one recreation, as you can see from the missing trees on the side of the peak. For these reasons, rather than try to make a more rugged top, I decided to etch out the spike into something more keeping with the rest of the model as it stood, and I still think it looks better for it. Under my self-imposed rules of WhatMap, 5 stars is where I have no place else to go, and thus I couldn't give it the 5th star and still be true to myself. However, just like Kim Kardashian, where am I going with this? There is a big but. There will be those of you who will protest that the spike should be there and that it's more accurate and true to Hollister Peak. And I don't disagree with you. But on that premise, well, here's a speed fix I made last night in around 20 minutes. All with vanilla rocks because it's a vanilla map. Now, I'm not saying that this is perfect. It takes much longer than 20 minutes to do this kind of thing justice. But I still think it's about 80% of the way to giving the peak a distinctive top. Now, if we're going for something more rugged, I think this is more effective than just the terrain mesh, and thus, I still couldn't in my heart give the original map the 5th star. Oops. So, anyway, thanks for all of the feedback. It is genuinely appreciated. Keep doing it, as it keeps me on my toes, and it really does help me to learn stuff too. Thank you all. And so let's get the show started once and for all. It's Monday, we're right back to the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map of the moment, and it's this one. Now the colours are slightly out at the moment because I'm using the skybox for this top down view. When I started doing the flyover, it became very obvious that this needs to be reviewed with the vanilla skybox. So for the flyover, we'll be using the vanilla. I'm sure the creator will be very thankful for that change. So yeah, anyway, so this one is what we'll lead with. We'll follow that one up with the longest waiting creator request map, one I've been looking forward to for quite a while. It's been on the list for a while and hopefully it will be a good one. But before we do any of that, I've got one little daily reminder for you. This one. That's right, clicking the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Almost 5 minutes into the show and we're starting. Today's first map is Sapello by Eggsy, and of course Karina is the dream team. They are back, and when I first saw this, just looking at the screenshots, I said, as you start square, I thought, doesn't that look like Icania? Doesn't it look like Icania's work? just from the off. There's your terrain heights, lots of buildable space with the spiky mountains in the middle like Icania used to do. And then the field painting is very Icania-esque as well. I like the way it swells out from small to big as you go away from the river. It's quite interesting. If you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, you have most of the fishies. It's very nice indeed. And then off to the workshop. Now, it's not a very long list of things. There is a mass transit needed, and just that list on the right-hand side, including the Albedo Dream, which was by Icania. Icania is also listed in the description. And in fact, this was a memorial, a memoriam, so forth, to the late great creator. If you've never heard of Icania, they passed away, no, 2 or 3 years ago now, I'm losing track. They made loads of maps of this style, and do check out their workshop if you're looking for a fantastical map. Here's your list of requirements on that one-click collection there. Yeah, they were truly a spectacular creator. Never quite managed to get the All-Stars, but this map was inspired by Tahonga. Here's all the visual settings as well. Again, there's no mention of Owl's Cinematic HD LUT. Not listed, Eggsy. It's not listed. But, oh, it is. There it is. I take it back. It is listed. It is listed. We are using Owl's as cinematic. I love the HD2 cinematic LUT by Owl. Used to use it a lot in the early days. And again, this is from early days sort of time. Eggsy, you have apps and Karina, of course, with your superb detailing. Loving the way that the bridges are done there. You have knocked, as a tribute to Icania, you have absolutely knocked the ball out of the park here. Because when you look at something, and before you even read a word, you just look and you go, wow, that looks like Icania's work. Well, that's what you've tried to achieve, and you have achieved it brilliantly. Anybody been waiting for a new Icania map for the longest time, jump on this one. You're going to have a great time. It is right on point for what it needs to do. Again, if you're not into fantasy style maps, it won't be for you. But if you don't mind, if you like, was it Biffa did a great build on an Icania map. I can't remember which one. It might have been Tahonga. I don't know. But they did a build, a very popular series that was as well. Superb. We've got an old trumpet intersection there. The detailing on this map is superb as well. Again, I have in the past neglected to mention Karina, so I'm going to mention Karina multiple times. So unfortunately, Karina can't appear in the caption at the bottom. Under the self-imposed rules of what's map, oh god, I dug a blinking hole for myself here. I only ever credit the account holder at the bottom, just because it can get very messy. Sometimes you can have 2 or 3 creators, but maybe a couple were just there for testing, or maybe it was commissioned for somebody, and so they're being listed. So there's many a reason why people can be listed as a creator but not be a creator. And although we all know that Karina had a big hand in beautifying this map, once I start bending the rules too much, it becomes very messy indeed. Again, look at this perfect detailing on the intersections. Absolutely perfect detailing. Now the road layout, it's kind of a crisscross, but like a wavy crisscross that has, let's say, some lovely intersection work in the style of Icania. Now a few of you are going to say, well, where are the magic tunnels, BonBon? Well, the map that this is inspired by, Tahonga, doesn't have any magic tunnels. I had to check that, because my first thought, well, where are the magic tunnels, Eggsy? If you're going to do a true Icania-esque tribute map, you've got to put a magic tunnel in somewhere. Just look at this. Just look at this. But and also look at this. This is so Icania over here. The width of this, I mean, it's more rapids than waterfall, but the width of this, but how shallow it is, how we have a full water coverage, it's spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. And that is the kind of thing that Icania did so well. So well. I remember one of their maps, I think the one that got closest to getting all-star status, it had a pillar which just would not disappear. Just would not disappear. No matter what they did, it kept reappearing. And unfortunately, that was enough, because it wasn't like a hidden pillar that nobody was going to notice. It was quite a key one. and I just couldn't unsee it. And you know me, if I can't unsee something, I can't give a 5th star. Now, this down here, I almost can't unsee this. I'm going to let this one go, sort of. This is going to be sort of like, I allow one little detailing thing. I don't know what is going on here. I can't quite get underneath. You see here, I tried to drop the camera down to ground level. First of all there, at ground level, I'm underneath on top of the highway. Coming from the other direction, I was able to get in from the other direction. And yeah, now, if it's in a tunnel like this, are you meant to worry that much? Really not worried about it at all, actually, don't worry. But it is a little bit glitchy from the outside. That's what caught my eye. And so, let's say this is like, it's not your one thing that loses, because I always allow 2 minor, non-important detailing errors on a map before I would, if it's going to be a 5-star map, before I will lose the 5th star. That's kind of 3/4 of the way to being one of your 2 permissible things. That. Only because, I mean, had I not noticed it from the outside, it would have been fine. We would have let it go. Oh, look, we've made the start square already. Start square, everybody. Start square intersection is one of these. It looks very neat. No, is that? No, we're not the start square. We're not at the start square. Sorry. I got so excited. I thought we got here a bit quick. No, sorry. I take it back. That was not the start square. I do make the odd mistake. Shush. Right. Got some great bridge work. The aesthetics, of course, on this map are sublime. A combination of an Icania theme with an owlet. You are not going to go far wrong if you just make even if you make an ordinary map. Making a map that is so distinctively somebody else's map, well, there's a skill to that. We're definitely seeing it. Anyway, let's follow the highway around towards, there we go, this is the straight in towards the Star Square. I promise you, we're nearly there. I promise. Not this one. Not this one. Alright, we're going to fly over this one. We're going to go over the bridge, and then that little straight over on the right hand side there, I'm pretty sure that is where the start square is. And then we'll take a stop, we'll have a look at the rail, which you know is going to be okay, because the rail, it's flat, and Eggsy ain't going to put a rail over a mountain. At least I hope they're not going to put a rail over a mountain. Anyway, there's your start square intersection. Ah, isn't it lovely? It's an essential lighthouse. No, I'm just going down the wrong path there. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. You want to start building here. There's enough there to sort of like make you start steering away from doing grids. Or you can just do grids. It's nice to have both options, really. The rail, I mean, I don't know what to tell you about the rail. The rail is fine. The networking, it's not awe-inspiring. It's not stupid. It's not crazy. It just does what it needs to do. It's a bit loopy in, like, it has loops with that, not loopy as in it's crazy. It's a bit loopy, a little bit. It's not loopy. It's just, it's got curves. The straight lines are devoid on the map. Got a junction here, again, with some nice detailing around it. No catenary chaos. Of course, there's no catenary chaos. We could head off to the left there. That'll take us off to the edge of the map over there, if I remember rightly. Probably not. And we've got some nicely done cliff edges. We'll go this way because we've got some nicely done cliff edges along here. No encroaching trees. Of course, there's no encroaching trees. Of course, there's no. Why would there be? It's going to have been checked to the nth degree. Great looking bridge here, built up on either side with the old vanilla rocks there, very neatly done. And then just goes out into the. Do you know what? You're not going to learn anything from that. No. Now the overall design it's very Icania. Oh, shall we look at the shipping first? Let's look at the shipping. We'll have a look at the design in a moment. Shipping. If you want a shipping route, we've got one that runs across the length of the strait down here. Just runs between these two land masses. We have a little shipping triangle there that goes up to a little dead end there, and then it comes out here. So yeah, think of this as the coast, and you could do shipping along there quite happily. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do no Sunset Harbour. Do you know what? My brain ain't working today. We're looking for the start square for water flow. That's what we're doing. Start square water flow. You've got a river. It's got a moderate amount of water flow there. If you want to pump and draw, you probably can. Probably better off with water towers, but you could. Why would you want to put sewage in there though? It's so beautiful. Why would you want to put sewage in there? Anyway, the map design, it's very Icania, without copying Icania. I've got to say, in terms of complexity or cleverness or actual design points, I'd say it's good. I think there are multiple ways that it could have been made a little bit more interesting. I don't want it made more interesting. I'm just saying there are multiple ways that it could have been made a little bit more interesting. Maybe with an extra, I mean, we have got a bit of a tier going on up here, you can see from the waterfall. But maybe just a couple of little minor tier changes like this, just to make things just a little bit more interesting. Not too many, don't want too many. But that said, the original map Tahonga didn't have that level of complexity. It was a different sort of swirly design. So to do that would have been to go away from what we're trying to show has inspired us. So again, I don't want you to. I don't want you to. If there's a choice between giving 5 stars and having a map that doesn't do Ikanya justice, I would rather have a map that does Ikanya justice. Simple as that. Now, the fields, they are very Ikanya style. You look at these and go, what is going on here? He did this. He did this. This was him. And sometimes I loved it and sometimes I hated it. Notice also, we've got the fertile in the middle there of the 3. And we have the fertile in the middle of the 3 here. And in the middle of the 3 here. And this is a theme across all of them. I don't know if this was by design or not. The consistency, having it across the entirety of the map where there are 3 in a row, I would say probably helps it. Probably helps the map. My first instinct was, no, you should mix those up. But the more I look at it, the more I think, actually, then it would look untidy. There's something about having the same sort of pattern that holds the consistency of the fields together. So credit for actually not mixing them up. Anyway, it's a castle. In the screenshots on the workshop, I didn't like this. But that's in the screenshots. The amount of things that you don't just go by screenshots. Have a look at the map or have a look at the What's Map review. That is a teardrop castle. It's on a teardrop shape. The detailing is just lovely again. And I think it works within the context of the map to be quite lovely. With a teardrop, well, pear drop maybe. Bonbon, pear drop, gotcha. Waterfalls, this river, lovely waterfall there. This is just again very Ikanya styling. Loving the looping going on here, and then we've got another waterfall here with a little split in the bottom, and that's being fed by a lake, which in real terms wouldn't hold enough water to give the waterfall a flow, but it's a fantasy map, so it does not matter. As long as there's enough in there that it kind of hides the fact it's not just it's not totally stupid, you know. Loving these islands, also notice the watercolor. That is because of the skybox rather than the bright blue, and I think it definitely works better with the vanilla skybox. One thing I was sure I was going to find were trees growing out of rocks, and of course I couldn't find any trees growing out of rocks. So I'm guessing this is Karina. Well done, Karina. I couldn't find one. I couldn't find a single one to moan about. One thing I did find was something down here under the water. Okay, this is splendid. This is absolutely splendid. Beautiful work. I have no words. Thank you. That sort of thing just adds a little bit of polish to a map. Doesn't add playability, it just adds polish. We've been here. That's it. How about over here? It's everybody's favourite factory. Bum. Now, I do have a minor gribble down here. A minor detailing gribble. And I think it's a needless one, really. Have a little look at the fences down here. Now, we've got the overlap here because we want the fence to be of a certain length. And we have another overlap over here because we want the fence to be a certain length. But given the fences don't actually match up, they don't meet in corners or anything like that, I think we can just we could extend this fence. I'm going to extend this fence here to its full length. I probably would, if I did this, I'd probably shift the whole fence across to the entire stretch across to the left, so it did kind of lined up with the other fence there. But this one over here, I mean, I can see we're trying to line up. Why don't we just delete that? I don't think that has not lost anything, and we've lost the overlap. So yeah, I think that's a if there's a problem with the map, it's that. Come on. How do I sleep at night? No, I don't. I literally don't. Anyway, thanks for watching. No, hang on, that's the end of the show. What's my brain? I'll tell you what. I need a drink right now. I do. But what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now. Make sure you're voting on Sapello by Eggsy. But what do I think of it? Well, aesthetically, we have done Eggsy. We've done Eggsy justice. Do you know what? I'm going to stop talking. We've done Icania justice. This is an Icania map. We've absolutely nailed it. I feel it could be a little bit more technical in a couple of places, just to make it a little bit more interesting in terms of design. And so for that, I feel I'm going to go for a very high 4 stars. Could be a little bit more, just a little bit more. In detailing, yeah, those couple of bits of fencing, I think, plus the little bit of under the tunnel, under the road glitching that we saw earlier. I think between them, I can't give the 5th star, but yeah, it is a 5-star in it. But it's as high as I can go, 4 stars. And then gameplay potential. Tahonga got 5 stars for gameplay potential. And this doesn't give me any reason not to give you 5 stars for gameplay potential. So it's a 5 stars for gameplay potential, especially if you're looking for an Icania map. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Don't change anything, Eggsy. Don't update the map. Leave it as it is. And have yourself a BonBonB seal of approval. It's beautiful. Right, okay, we'll have a look at the longest waiting creator request map right after this very short intermission. Don't go away now. And so on with today's second map, the longest waiting creator request map on the list for a creator we have done 8 times in the past, including some very notable scores in episodes 874, 952 and 1474. They got 13 stars on each occasion. We got another 12-star occasion, that was the 1131, 3 11 stars and a 10-star, which was their very first appearance on the show, so they're allowed to improve from there. Today's map is going to be one for the detailers who like a rugged landscape. Is that you? If so, hang around for Kenai Landing by Captain Alex. Kenai Landing? Well, there's not much room for an airport here, so maybe you can't. See what I did there? Okay, I'll stop. Let's have a look at the start square. Like I say, not a huge amount of buildable space on this map, so definitely one for the detailers. We've got terrain heights which are rugged, including rugged islands. Maybe reclaim some land. We could do that. And then we've got resources, undersea ore, undersea fertile, and a bit of forestry. And what about Sunset Harbour? If you want to do some fishing, well, it's mostly shellfish with some anchovies. Yeah, it's not always about the fish though, is it? Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. There is a one-click collection with a number of items in it. We'll have a look at in a moment. We'll be using a theme mix, which is a combination of the Stray Cats and Nature Reserve theme and the Aguil Vert theme, which is another one from Icania, which seems to be the theme of the day. And then here's that one-click collection down here. We're using the Relight 2 Lush LUT, and there's a custom cube map specifically chosen for this one, the Approaching Storm cube map. I think that's about everything you need to know. Okay, let's crack on down to ground level. Now, normally we start from the edge of the map, but we're going to work into the edge of the map first of all, for one of the 3 buildable spots. When I say buildable spots, this is it. That's it. Small town builds with plenty of detailing. Go for it. Have a lot of fun with your detailer builds. This hill's a bit on the steep side. A bit. Having said that, when you go down to ground level, you imagine driving up here. In fact, more importantly, imagine there are probably no trucks on this road. So let's have a little look down there. I wouldn't have a cargo port down here. Trucks going down there. You're going to have brakes. You've got to have brakes on that road. It's not the steepest I've ever seen, but it is within believability, just about. Especially for like a national road rather than a highway. Then when we get over here, we have the edge of map intersection, which splits things up. And this is way deep in the fog, so there's plenty of glitchy stuff going on here, like the steepness and the angle of this highway ramp. And there was a little bit of shark's teeth ziggy-zaggying on the cutting there. But we are deep in the fog, so it probably doesn't matter an awful lot. Even this tunnel seems to want to go vertically as it goes in. As problems go, anything that deep in the fog is the least important problem of them all, but they were quite stark minor issues there. Then over here, it tunnels over to here. You can even see the tunnel approaching under the water. It's just a little bit too shallow there as well in terms of the tunnel depth. And then when we get into the tunnel land, we've got a little bit of glitching here as well. Again, we are right next to the edge of the map. Does it matter? Well, just a little bit, because standards, folks. Standards. Anyway, if we follow this road down, it joins up with the rail, which connects here. And this is going to be at my final point about edge of map stuff. Like here, we've got a bit of blue mantle where we're switching from the vanilla rail to the custom rail. And that's a little way out from the edge of the map. Again, we're still suitably deep in the fog that it doesn't matter a huge amount. But what if you just like swapped it over here and, yeah, the first opportunity switch it over? It's a little way in. Again, it's not a big problem. Now, one thing that I wish I'd said more or spent more time looking at during the flyover, I can't say more about it because I haven't said it yet, I'm saying it now, is there's a little bit of under-road rock detailing along here that I wish I'd come back and showed you a little bit more of. Instead, what I do in a moment is I'd take a look at this little beach here, which is a nice little beach. It's a nice little beach. Again, the wheel there, rock theme there going on, and it looks stunning. But yeah, I just wish I come and showed you a little bit of the under-road rock detailing that, again, didn't need to be done. And it's been done. It's been done very nicely. Nice rock detailing around the tunnel entrances there as well. Let's say Captain Alex, he's got three 13-star reviews. That's, if you think about that, 13 stars is 1 5-star and 2 4-stars. That's phenomenal scoring. And you know how tight I am with giving my stars. I really am. So to get that sort of score is just phenomenal work. Anyway, our tunnel emerges over here. It splits in 2 directions. This one over here, I suggest this to be your harbour area. There's a very good reason for that. First of all, it's a little bit smaller, so maybe just go complete industries there. But also have a look at the depth of the water. Here, it's a bit shallow there. We've got a few islands, but other than that, it looks suitably deep. Not super deep, but suitably deep water. Then if we head over this way, the rail goes into another tunnel. The highway just cuts its way through the mountains neatly. Another mini steep entrance, and it takes us down into the main buildable area with a more rail there. And in terms of buildable space here, it's plenty of buildable space going on there. Let me show you the unlock that. So there we go. The terrain heights around, even around here, you've got a little expansion, so there's plenty of space for a small town. Okay. Also look under the water though. You can see all the shallow water here, 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 here. So it's not really a harbour area. Possibly you can get a harbour in about there and have it nip in and out. But in terms of true realisms, I probably would put the harbour over on the other side. That's me though. Anyway, so you've got 1, 2, 3 buildable spots. Other than that, maybe a little bit of a mountain retreat. Possibly do something out on the islands. We've got a few little islands dotted around. I wouldn't say any big builds out on the islands, but you could maybe reclaim some land in and around there. Let's have a little look at the shipping routes whilst we are up above the water. Let's do that. Shipping routes are absolutely fine. We've got this one route that comes down here, loops in and around the islands because we can do that. There was a little shipping triangle right there, which is done nicely. And then this shipping route just carries on up and it's just everywhere you want it to be. That shipping route follows. Water flow in the start square. It's not really, there is a little bit between the islands and the mainland here. Got a little bit. But yeah, it's not a huge water flow, but there is a lot of coast there. So you could probably separate your two things up. Okay, if that's what you want to do. Right, so what have we got going on there? Let's have a look down here. We've got a little bit of, I've just sort of a new one for this. This is train glitching or train glitching. Train glitching. Don't see a tongue twister. Can't even say tongue twister. What chance have I got with terrain? It's terrain. Anyway, loving this. I'm going to call this Beer Can Lake because I imagine this is where people are going to come up and have a quick tinny and just really enjoy it. We're in Alaska, by the way. Did I mention we're in Alaska? We're in Alaska, so you could have a nice can of beer up there, a nice Coors Light. Edge of Map Island here looks really good. Maybe a bit of building out here possibly, but just look at the tree painting on here as well. Good standards as you'd always expect from Captain Alex away from the edge of the map. And then we've got loads of spindle islands, including a Bonbon Island, which we'll have a look at in a moment. So yes, lots of spindly islands. I would say you could probably reclaim some land around on some of these just to do something with it. There's not going to be any big builds going on here. Tiny little, this is your airport island, I suggest. Probably get your airport on there. I'm just joking with you. And then if we head over this way, over here there is a Bonbon Island. Where are you? Oh, here it is. We've got a little lake in there, another tinny lake. We've got a lovely little harbour, jetty, with a footpath going up to the abandoned lake, abandoned cottage, and there's your abandoned lake. I'm struggling with words today. I don't know why. Anyways, one last thing. I got a very tall island on the map as well. I don't know if you can make it out from here. But there is this one little, and it's little. I'm loving the way that the rock work's been done on it though. So we've got a really tall tree on the top of here. Some might say, how's he going to get his roots in there? You know what? I live for this island. I'm completely in on this island. It's a bit different and a little bit quirky, and I just love it. So that one is a winner for me. So that's the map. Not a huge amount of buildable space, but some very nice standards tucked in and around if you look away from the edge of the map. But what do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But make sure you're voting on Kenai Landing. So don't want to mix any of that up now. Okay. What do I think of Kenai Landing by Captain Alex? Well, first of all, Captain Alex, I've missed you. I think you're a great creator. And you know, just take your time on these maps. Make sure they come out there really nice. This one is really nice. Not one for the big city build, but aesthetically, it's very lovely. How high can I go? Well, it's 4 stars. I'm gonna go. My instinct is a little below 4 stars, but it is striking, and so yeah, credit for that. Detailing. All told, it's kind of a 4-star map. I mean, a middly low 4-star map, but all those bits in the deep fog, I think I have to punish them a little bit because they're quite striking and stark. I think I'm going to go to a high 3. High 3 for detail. Bad boy. And gameplay potential. Look, it is what it is. If you're a detailer, you might love this one. I have to rate this for the average player. Medium high 3 because detailing can be fun. Kenai Landing by Captain Alex. A little bit more buildable space, I think, even for a detailer but you know, it's what it is. It's where it is. I don't want you to reshape Alaska just so that we can build on it, as much as the American government probably would like you to. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing if you are still here. That's right, it's the same thing. Use the words of the day in the comments to prove yourself part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back on Wednesday with another What map, and I've got a late night stream coming on Tuesday night. Be there or be somewhere else. Thanks for watching.